In 2019, Colorado state legislators gave away Colorado's voice for future presidential elections. In November, the 2020 referendum will enable voters to take that voice back. Colorado Senate Bill SB19-042, and we'll call that SB42, was passed by the Colorado State Legislature on March 15th of 2019. SB42 made Colorado the 16th state to join the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. We'll call that NPV. Many Colorado voters oppose what Senate Bill 42 gives away to other states. So more than 1,700 volunteers collected more than 185,000 validated signatures on a petition to place SB 42 and the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact on the 2020 Colorado ballot in hopes of repealing SB 42. Some things would remain the same with or without MPV. Each state and the District of Columbia run their own independent presidential popular vote elections according to their own election laws. None of the votes in any one state or group of states can affect the presidential election results in any other state. The number of electoral votes for president allocated to each state is set by the U.S. Constitution for a total of 538. It takes a majority or 270 electoral votes to elect a president. Since the 2000 presidential election, the state of Colorado receives 9 electoral college votes for president, 7 for 7 congressional districts, and 2 for 2 senators. In the spring, before each presidential election, both parties hold conventions in Colorado to choose party delegates and to nominate 9 electors. After the election, the electors of the winning party will cast Colorado's 9 electoral votes for president. Colorado is a unique state, and when it comes to presidential elections, voters in all 64 diverse counties want Colorado's voice to be heard. After the election, Colorado's Secretary of State totals the votes for all 64 counties and declares a Colorado presidential winner. The party of the winning candidate gets to appoint their 9 electors, and in December, those electors cast Colorado's electoral votes for president. Those 9 votes, whether Republican or Democrat, represent the will of Colorado voters. If the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact is successful, all 50 states, plus the District of Columbia, would still complete their independent presidential elections just like before. But that's when everything changes. Our Secretary of State would have to collect the 51 results and add them together to produce a national popular vote total for each presidential candidate. Based on the totals, an MPV presidential winner would be declared for Colorado. Then the Secretary of State would have to certify the appointment of Colorado's electors from the same party as the national popular vote winner. And in December, Colorado's 9 electoral votes would have to be cast for the national popular vote winner, not for Colorado's presidential winner. Let's look at the numbers. In 2016, Coloradans in all 64 counties cast about 2.8 million votes for president. Coloradans determined how Colorado's 9 electoral votes were cast. That same year, nationwide, almost 137 million votes were cast for president. That means if NPV was in effect then, about 134 million out-of-state voters would have dwarfed Colorado's vote and determined how Colorado voted for president. Keep in mind that the majority of the monies funding the national popular vote movement in Colorado have come from California, not from interested Coloradans. And at election time, will these California sponsors be supporting Colorado or California priorities? The result is that Coloradans could vote overwhelmingly for one candidate, say candidate A, but because the NPV winner was candidate B, Colorado's electoral votes would go to candidate B. The 2020 referendum gives us a clear choice. Do we want Coloradans or out-of-state voters to determine how to cast our 9 votes for president? So if you want to protect Colorado's voice in presidential elections, Then in November, vote no on the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact.